What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Chris Glides. As you can see, today I'm taking a ride and I'm way far up in the mountains. I'm riding through like Cumberland, Maryland. I just left my house about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago, and I'm over my 500-mile mark on my bike, which that means it's broken in. And today I'm gonna push this bike to the limits. I'm headed towards the mountains where I could do about 50 to 60 miles of just curves and any amounts of speeds on these straight roads, and I'm just gonna really get into everything that I can about this bike. I was super excited to see how it feels to go above the 3,500 RPMs and get into a little bit of the redlining and just to be able to max speed this thing and just really get into all the things that people were super hyped about in regards to this motorcycle. But while I'm also here on this trip, I'm gonna enjoy some great scenery, some great overlooks, and all the great things that nature has to offer at some of the national forests and parks. And I'm about to meet up with some really great friends from my local hawk chapter, and I love riding with these two. You've seen these two in my video before, and we have ridden to several places before, and this is just gonna be one of many of the epic locations that we'll go to. All right, YouTube, good morning. It's Chris from Chris Glides, and I'm with the world's most famous Tracy and Jimmy. And I'm hanging with them today, and we are all the way up in the mountains in Cumberland. In Cumberland, Maryland. I just met them this morning, and we're gonna do some riding adventure today. So Jimmy, where we going?
Okay, we're gonna go to the Monongahela National Forest in Richwood, West Virginia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll do a 55-mile trail through there, through the National Forest, hit some overlooks, I guess, and some of the highest peaks of West Virginia. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today.
Yes.
All right. So take a trip with us, guys. Let's go. So on this adventure, I really enjoy riding with Jimmy and Tracy. They've traveled all across the United States on this bike right here that they're on, and they're just everywhere. You'll see them on other people's YouTube videos as they venture out, and they just see the world, and I love riding with them. They're super positive. Tracy always has a really great smile. Jimmy likes to crack jokes with Tracy, and it's just really fun watching them partner together as they, venture out on their motorcycle and just really enjoy it. Jimmy really makes you understand what it's like to really take advantage of your bike and ride during the riding season. He likes to plan a lot of great trips. Well, Tracy actually does a lot of the logistics of the planning and things like that, but they like to do like a lot of great trips in and around, or as far as you can go within the area, and I enjoy it. So as we travel through this part of town and we're about to take on this adventure, we're getting close to the entrance point to where we're gonna start on the Highland Scenic Highway. And this is one of the 50 Rides in One Nation challenges that the Harley Owners Group puts out. Each year they send you a guidebook with maps and things like that, and is part of the Ride 365 program, but it's the heart and recipe for exploring America and a roadmap to a lifetime of epic journeys. All right, so I'm in West Virginia, and I see a sign that says 55 West and 39 West, and it's a lumberyard right here, and just mountains and all kinds of scenic views. We stopped at this place called the Hole in the Wall, and look at that. CB's Hole in the Wall. It's like a nice lunch spot. We're gonna stop at to get something to eat.
All right. Okay. You know what, man? I know. The whole time it looked like it was really thick and cloudy the whole time. Yeah. But it never really rained. It was like enough road mist to make it really.
That's the Cherry River Lumber Company, according to the sign. And I need to get my deck fixed if anybody repairs decks.
Up until like half an hour. I'm gonna show you what the app we got. So we're gonna find these We're gonna ride the 44-mile stretch
Okay.
of the Highland Scenic Highway. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scan this in. So we'll see this. So we'll know.
It's got a QR code there.
Yep, QR code. We'll open it up.
And that's the Harley Davidson app.
That's the Harley Davidson
Okay.
app.
And so for that book, that's the 50, what is it called? 50 for 50?
Mm-hmm.
50 for 50 Hog Challenge. It's got all 50 different sites that you can go to. And once you get there, you take a picture, you scan the, he's scanning for directions, but we're already here. But you take the picture with the sign in your hand, and they send you a coin. I had it on one of my other YouTube videos at one of the other stops where we'll park at a place like that, and then we'll hold the sign up, and then we kind of prove we're there, and then we submit it electronically to the Hog website, and then we get a coin in the mail about a week or two later.
Of course, we got no signal out here.
All right, guys, so we're gonna get back on the road and get this thing going. CB's Hole in the Wall, located in Richwood, West Virginia, provided an excellent afternoon lunch just prior to us entering the Highland Scenic Highway. So as we enter the highway, we're looking for different checkpoint locations. In the book, it provides different rules and things for how you're supposed to take the picture. And for this adventure, it just says like any Highland Scenic Highway or Monongahela National Forest sign along the byway or its overlook. So the signs may be different per picture, but you just want to get a picture similar to the one in the book. And when we stopped here, you know, this was one of the first signs that we saw, and we thought it was a great opportunity since it wasn't that much road traffic and it was semi-safe. But one of the things that you want to definitely be aware of when you stop to take your photo is ongoing traffic. If it's just you, be extra careful. If you have a group, then take a picture with, you know, the people watching your back from traffic. The Highland Scenic Highway is southeast West Virginia, and it's 44 miles, a 44-mile stretch of curves and winding roads for you to enjoy in your motorcycle or sports car. This video is certainly not to endorse condoning or anything speed related through a national forest or park, and certainly not made in order for you to risk your safety around any of these curves, but you will climb to an elevation of 4,500 feet along the peaks of the Allegheny Highlands and the headwaters of the William and Cranberry Rivers. The Highland Scenic Highway twists and winds through the Monongahela National Forest. Four scenic overlooks provide spectacular views of the rugged mountain and valley terrain. Spring wildflowers and fall foliage make this National Scenic Byway a particular alluring destination during the fall. You need to certainly be on the lookout for wildlife as you take on this adventure, but one of the things that I loved the most about this was the fresh and pure air. Additionally, it just felt like I could reach up and touch the clouds. I enjoy visiting places where you could look as far as the eye can see, but this was certainly a destination that I could test the capabilities of my motorcycle, and then learned all about the motorcycle in the process of how we were going to bond together. Hey, what's up, Parkside, West Fayette group? I'm all the way up here in the mountains, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours away. So while you guys were asleep, I was riding up here to the end of the earth. It's nice out here, though. Look at that. far as you can see. In its natural habitat, you see, man, it's like this. So of course this road trip wouldn't be a road trip unless I ventured out and I went hiking. I wanted to try and locate some bear, but then as I thought about it, what if the bear were trying to locate me? Did you guys see the movie Cocaine Bear? I did. And I thought it was going to be a funny movie until I saw all the blood and guts. And it is getting close to Halloween. And so a single motorcycle rider walking through the woods in the forest alone seemed to be the wrong recipe for this trip. So it's back to my bike. Let me get out of here quick. Ah, there she is. So as we ventured on, we did run through some issues. We lost navigation and we couldn't figure out our way back. So the only thing that we could do was just ride. And at some point we realized that the navigation would cut back on. And if it didn't, we just had to make sure that we wouldn't run out of gas. And so we took off, and at some point when we got down the road, we did see a gas station, we did pick back up on navigation, and everything was okay. So let me tell you more about this bike, just in case you guys didn't know. The 2023 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide is a custom bagger with a top speed of 105 miles per hour. It's equipped with a new Milwaukee 8 VVT 121 engine, which has a variable valve timing to provide more power across the rev range. The engine has a displacement of 121 cubic inches and a compression ratio of 11:1. It produces a whopping 115 horsepower at 4,500 revolutions per minute and 139 foot-pounds of torque at 3,000 revolutions per minute. The engine is liquid-cooled and has a radiator between the frame down tubes. The CVO Road Glide is fitted with a 19-inch front and an 18-inch rear combo-laced wheel that is equipped with a tire pressure monitoring system. There are 4 ride modes to help the rider manage the power of this machine. The ride modes include sports mode, road mode, rain mode, and then a custom mode. Inside the custom mode, the rider can pick the favorite levels of throttle response and power production, traction control, ABS, and engine braking. The 4 ride modes are all part of the features that are part of the rider safety enhancements by Harley-Davidson. The linked braking, ABS, traction control, and engine braking are all cornering aware. The package also includes vehicle hold control and the monitoring of tire pressure, as I mentioned before. One of the new features that can't go unnoticed is the new shark nose fairing TFT touchscreen that measures just over a foot diagonally. So we are at day 2 of our riding adventure, and we are somewhere in Virginia, and we are wide awake, topping off to finally ride back home. What was the name of that park we went to, Tracy? How do you pronounce it?
Oh, you know I know.
Monongahela National Park. And we went through there to get the hog 50 for, what was it called?
50 states.
50 states.
50 states challenge, right? And so when we rolled back, we went through so many curves, I was ready to throw up. So
Exactly.
it was a lot of curves, but if you guys want a nice riding adventure with a lot of curves, in one end of the park and out the other, we stopped at the Hole in the Wall. What's it called? The Hole in the Wall restaurant?
Hole in the Wall restaurant.
Hole in the Wall restaurant. Started there, went all the way through without stopping, and it was about, I don't know, like 60 miles of curves or 40.
It was about 42 miles.
Yeah,
42 miles.
42 miles of curves. More curves than you can put your money on after eating lunch. So, all right, guys, we're about to take off and see you guys when we get home. So as we take off to go back home and get ready to get back on the highway, I might as well tell you more about the engine performance of this motorcycle. The 121 in the Milwaukee 8 VVT 121 is the displacement of the new motor. It gets there by increasing the bore to 4.075 inches and lengthening the stroke to 4.625 inches. For those confused by English measurement, the 121 displaces 1,977 cc's. The VVT in the Milwaukee 8 VVT 121 stands for variable valve timing. What is that? A computer constantly adjusts the valve timing through a 20-degree range of the camshaft rotation, which means 40 degrees of the camshaft rotation. Engineers did this on the 2023 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide for two primary reasons. In addition to smoothing the power band, the VVT system also increases fuel economy compared to the Milwaukee 8 117. On this trip, I was getting like 44 miles a gallon, which was excellent. The top end of the VVT is significantly updated. It starts with a new airbox, which has a 4-liter capacity, which is 50% more than the heavy breather setup. The 121 airbox also has fewer parts, is lighter, and reduces intake noise, which allows more exhaust volume. The 117's 55mm throttle body is tossed in favor of a 58mm throttle body, which sits right in the middle of the V for better flow. Next up are the cylinder heads. To take advantage of the intake improvements, there are low-profile intake valve seats, newly shaped oval intake ports. Compression is bumped up. As I mentioned, 11-4-1 versus 10-2-1. And the squish band is reworked. In the cases, you'll find a new camshaft to go with the VVT feature on the 2023 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. Take a closer look and you'll see higher capacity lifters and valve springs that match the high lift cam, which also has longer duration. The inner cam bearing is beefed up to handle the frisky cam. Additionally, the diameter of the muffler is increased by a ½ inch to accommodate the increased flow. According to Harley-Davidson Insider, you're going to like the sound of the 4.5-inch diameter exhaust when you wick open the throttle. With all these changes, power production on the VVT 121 clearly tops the 117. The Milwaukee 8 VVT 121 delivers 139 foot-pounds of torque at just 3,000 RPMs. For those interested in horsepower, the motor is letting loose with 115 horses at 4,500 RPMs, as I mentioned before. Did also mention that this bike is lighter. The 2023 Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide is 35 pounds lighter than last year and still holds 6 gallons. So I finally made it back from this trip and put in about 700 miles. Had a lot of fun and there was a lot to do. We basically just rode around and got our miles